Hello. Hi. Welcome to this lovely backyard in Brooklyn. If you hear sirens, I apologize. You're in New York now. We are here to do a open level prenatal class, more designed towards the first and the second trimester. You can try some of the things in the third trimester, but I would definitely be really careful if you're towards the end of your third trimester. Just want to make sure that if you are taking this class that you do have permission from your doctor to practice yoga. If you have blocks, they would be super helpful. We have about a half hour together today, and let's get started. So whenever you get a chance, let's bring your block and gently place it underneath your bum. So your sacrum sitting right on your butt cheeks. You have a few different options here for our starting meditation, as you can either sit with your legs crossed. You can place them into a slight kind of open hero pose. This is really comfortable for me, so I'm gonna get started right here. So together, let's close our eyes and bring both hands on our belly. So if you have some sort of anxiety, you have aches or pains, if you have anything that is bothering you today physically or emotionally, let's just create some space and breathe into those places. Please be very mindful if you have any injuries, and always know that if something doesn't feel right, just stop, right? That's how we function in life, that's how we function in yoga, and that's how we keep ourselves healthy and safe. Take a deep inhale in your nose, exhale out of your mouth, just a gentle sigh out, nothing forced. A few more like this. Inhale gently in your nose and exhale out of your mouth, relaxing your shoulders with each exhale. A few more breaths like this, and then closing your mouth, breathing in and out of your nose only, trying to create some calmness and coolness in your body, in your breath, in your mind. Staying there. Not the future, not the past, but in the present. Today we're going to think about focusing on being in the present moment. Start to feel twinges, that's totally normal. Just sending love and care to your belly, to your body, for all the magical things that it's created. See? Never dull moment. And taking a few more breaths. So keeping your eyes closed, you're going to lower your head down, bring your neck a little bit closer to your chest. And you're going to roll out your neck, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder, just ever so gently. As you inhale and as you exhale, coming back to center. As you inhale in your nose, bring your left ear to left shoulder. And exhale, center. Let's go a few more times. Do not bring your neck back, it's just ear to shoulder. Back to center as you exhale. And over to the left. A few more breaths. Just being slow and gentle with your body today. Always know that if you need to be challenged, and if you are an advanced student, it is your practice. Take your practice wherever it needs to go. I'm here for guidance and keeping you safe. Bring your hands to your prayer. Chin close to your chest, and slightly begin to open your eyes as you awaken from a long nap. Inhale, arms go up high to the sky. And bring your palms to your chest. One more inhale. Inhale, arms go up high. Bringing right hand down, left arm goes up over your head, stretching your side body. So this is a great place for a block. You can place your block down. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths, lowering your shoulder down, thinking about grounding that left hip just as much as your right, so you're not bringing your butt cheek up. Few more breaths, maybe elongate your arm a little bit more. And coming back to center. Helicopters are also a very common phenomenon. And lower your left arm down. Right arm goes up over the head, stretching. This side might feel very different than the other. And a few more breaths. And still grounding that right hip down, shoulder away from your back to center. You can clasp your hands behind your back. That might feel good. Opening up your shoulders and stretching your heart all the way up. And just gently moving your neck. Move your block to the side. Let's gently just put them to the top of the mat. You are going to go into a tabletop, making sure that if you're on some hard surface, you place a blanket underneath your knees for, I would suggest any of our practice where we're in a tabletop. And being really careful, always making sure that when you are placing your hands into the mat, you are in line with your wrists and your shoulders, right? So you are creating right angles. We don't want to be too far out or too far in. We want to be right underneath our shoulders, right in line. Fingers are spread out. You want to make sure you're pushing into all of those finger pads, not just your wrists, because that's when we go into down dog where we start running into problems. So, firmly pushing your hands into the mat, widespread, creating that letter L, right, that you can see right underneath your eyesight. So let's roll our wrists to the right and the left, just moving our weight forward and back, maybe counterclockwise. Your knees should be in line with your hips, so you're not too far back and you're not too far forward on the hips. So if this feels good, stay here. If you want to take it a little bit further, gently moving into your cat-cows. So when you're in your cow, making sure that as soon as you start feeling the tension in your belly, put it back off and just use your hips to bring it into a cow, right? So that way we're not overstretching our belly. And as we exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone under and drop your head. Inhale and exhale. 4 more times like this. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and out of your nose easily. And 2 more. And 1 more. So this is an alternative. We're going to neutralize our spine. We're going to move into our down dog. Really slowly and gently. You can always stay in your tabletop as well. For everyone else that can move into their down dog, tuck your toes under. You're going to stick your booty out. And then you're just going to push your hands down, bringing your booty to the sky. Your knees are going to be bent. Your feet are going to be wider than your traditional down your head is down and you're really thinking about twerking that booty to the ceiling, looking down at your knees. If you can see them, you should be able to see them. God, I hope I can see them. And taking a few breaths here. Pushing your hands firmly into the mat. And this time you're going to just walk your hands back to the back of the mat, placing your hands firmly onto your knees, rolling yourself all the way up. Inhale, arms up high, and bringing your hands to your heart. Let's do this as a modified sun salutations together. Do what you can. We're going to go over it 3 times. Let's inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, begin to walk your hands out to your tabletop first. And you're gonna stick your bum out, shoulders away from your ears, tuck your toes under. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're gonna move into your down. And walking your way to the right, to the left, just rocking it around. You feel really good on your lower back. A few more breaths here. And slowly walk to the top of the mat. Again, placing your hands on your knees if you need that extra support. This is a much wider Tadasana than we are used to, where our feet are touching. So you want to make sure you have space for the belly and the baby to move through. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway up. Walk all the way out. Gently lower your knees. Inhale, up dog. Modified up dog, right? So it's really a cow. Bring your booty up and exhale. Down, down. Few breaths here. I really love this going from the cow to down dog because it just sets you up so much. Rolling all the way up. If you need the support for your knees, go for it. One more time. Inhale. And forward fold. Being careful, moving up and down. If you are in your 3rd trimester, and lowering your knees down to the ground. Inhale to your cow. Exhale. Oh. Few more breaths. Walk back to the top, or actually the back of your mat, rolling all the way up to standing, bringing your hands to your heart. Closing your eyes, finding some stillness in your body. Slowly roll your heart up. You're going to bring your hands on your hips, and we're going to step to the front of the mat. One big step. So it's almost going to be like a high lunge, except the back foot is going to be planted and the heel is going to be planted down. It's like a warrior one. Inhale, reach arms up high. And just sit here with your breath for a few moments, making sure the back heel is firmly grounded, the front foot is supported. So you're not dumping into the front and you're not all the way to the back. Most people tend to dump in the back and the front, right? Shoulders are relaxed. 3 breaths. to making sure if you feel comfortable heel to heel, go for it. But I recommend do your feet on 2 separate tracks. You're gonna bend your front knee, open that up, making sure it's in line with your ankle, which is the most important thing. You're not sickling it in. You're gonna run into a lot of knee problems. And we don't want those. Shoulders are relaxed. Back foot is firmly planted on the mat. You're looking over your fingertips on your left hand side. Deep warrior 2. You can back off of it if that's too intense, making sure it's super strong. 2 more breaths. Inhale, flying warrior. And we're gonna go to warrior 2 to the back of the mat. And over your right fingertip. So same thing, but you're gonna have to adjust just a little bit. Right, so making sure you're not, if your heel to heel is comfortable, then do it. If not, I would say go wider. Making sure the back toes are sickled in, so that allows room for your right knee to open. Sinking low. And 2, our warrior 2. Right fingers are forward, left are back. Not too far forward, not too far back, right? Not in the future, not in the past. Let's try to be in the present. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Inhale. Flying warrior. Back to that warrior 2 on the left hand side. This time placing your left forearm onto your thigh. You can also place a block onto the ground. We're gonna go to an extended side angle. So here, want to make sure you're super strong support. If that's too much for you, you can also place your hand gently onto your thigh, but making sure it's still all in line. Reaching your arm up. You can also just place your arm, right? That's totally okay. Let me go a little bit further today for myself and place it all the way down, opening my arm back up to the sky. Lifting out of those shoulders. 2 more breaths. And coming up to warrior 2 just for 1 breath. And come up to flying warrior. We're gonna move back to our warrior 2 to the back of the mat. Sink down, lower down, super strong warrior. Warrior 2 first, right? Place your block on the inside of your left foot. Once again, the few options that you have here is hand on thigh, forearm, or all the way down, reaching your arm up, or just at your hip. Once you're settled down here, then you can begin to reach a little bit higher up. One more breath and sit down to warrior 2. It's gonna feel really good, I promise, especially in Shavasana. Reach your hands up high to the sky into flying warrior. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly begin to lower yourself all the way down. You can micro bend your knees, and you should. You want to make sure your toes are sickled in, and you're gonna lower your head onto the mat. You can use, this is a great time to use props, right? So you can use 2 blocks to hold yourself up. We have about 5 big breaths. Just super relaxing. Maybe move your head slightly to the right and left. That feels good. Few more breaths. You can also keep your head up if you are in your later trimesters, so you don't get a blood rush upside down. And slowly begin to roll all the way up. And back into warrior one. Step to the top of the mat. Just to balance it quickly out. We're going to step our left foot back for warrior one on the opposite side. So you're going to feel very different on the right and the left, right? And that's okay. Very tight on my round ligament, right on my left-hand side. But on my left, yeah, but on the right, it's totally fine. Just being aware where our bodies are and seeking those balances. And coming back up. Bring your hands to your heart. We're at the top of the mat. Move slightly to the center for you, but you're going to be at the top. Inhale, arms are up. Just sit down to a chair, not too deep. Just bring your hands to your heart. Good. Bring your feet wide apart. And inhale. And let's do this a couple more times. Sit back. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And on the 6th, we're like an elevator that's going to move slowly all the way down into Malasana. So we have a few breaths here in Malasana. You're going to sit down, bring your hands to your heart, open your heart all the way. And just really open your belly. It's going to feel really nice to sit here for a couple of moments. I don't always recommend sitting on a block, even if you have a strong practice. Keeping your eyes closed, especially if you're expecting. I always tell people to get started on the block first and then remove it later. As you open your eyes, place your hands firmly onto your knees and roll all the way up. Roll all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up high. And forward fold. Inhale, and halfway up. And you're going to step back into your tabletop. Right. Straight from here into your tabletop. And gently move onto your knees. So you are kind of setting up for hero's pose, but we're not going to take it, right? We are going to sit all the way up. Take your blocks, place them by your sides, and bring your right foot all the way out. Place your hand right in the middle by your knee. You can also elevate it as much as you need to. And we're going to hang out here in this half split for quite some time. We're going to work on a couple of things. We're going to open up and rotate our foot to the right so we can begin to stretch that IT band. And then also we're going to release a little bit down. You do want to bring your hands inside if your belly is getting larger, like mine is. So that way you're not framing it, you're actually right here in the middle. So reach your heart up high. And lower your head all the way down. Maybe your hands come onto the blocks. One more breath. Slowly bring yourself up. And once again, so your hands are firmly grounded here. You're going to rotate your toes out to the side a little bit. Bring your booty to the left. And it's going to really stretch your IT band. So you're going to reach your heart forward. And now you're going to reach towards your toe. Just ever so gently. You're not going to go as far as towards it. Flexing your toes towards your face. It's a massive ligament, RT band. Big believer that it's responsible to all of our knee problems, or a lot of them. Coming back to your hero's pose for a moment. Sitting up. And stepping your left foot all the way through. Again, your first trimester, you can probably frame your foot, but if you're getting a little bit bigger, you need a little bit of space, making sure you place your blocks right in the center. Inhale, reach your heart forward, sink your hips a little bit lower, and sit back onto your right heel this time for a half. One more breath. Inhale. Low lunge, and then you sit back onto your half split and you rotate your left foot slightly more to the left. Heart is forward and all the way down. So again, that outside IT band and outside of your calf all the way to your glute and your lower back, your lumbar spine. I'm getting a visitor into my calf. And coming back to center. Doing a little bit of a stretch. Again, this is your practice. If something else feels good, feel free to do so. And come back to our hero pose. We are going to finish our practice today with a pigeon, a sleeping pigeon. And you're going to slowly sit all the way up. And blocks are really helpful here, right? So you're going to step your foot forward. You can either place it down onto your shins going here, onto the mat, making sure your right foot is flexed, sitting your booty right on that block. And then for your second block, I would just leave it right underneath your hands. And then just staying here for only about 3 breaths. Blocks gently. Place your hands onto the mat. Sit back onto that hero pose at the end of the mat. And let's switch it out. So, placing the left shin onto the mat. Place one block underneath your bum. The other one underneath your hands. And you might get a very different sensation on the other side, which I am getting right now. Ooh, the tightness I have on my left-hand side. And just feeling that sensation. If you can go deeper, do it, but it's really not about how deep you go, especially in prenatal yoga. It's about being safe and careful and just gently opening things up and strengthening. One more breath in and out of your nose. Wherever you are, you might come up. So you want to remove that block from your bum. Just roll yourself over and you're going to straddle the mat facing me. So we're going to finish with a forward fold. So a few options here that I always like to give. If you have some sort of block to put underneath, that might feel really nice because it does put a lot of strain in your groin area. If you don't have extra blocks, just be mindful in keeping that micro bend in your knees. So you want to place your blocks on the medium, highest, or the shortest settings. It's really up to you, but making sure you have plenty of room for your belly. And you're going to place your forearms onto the mat. And you're going to release your head down. If I had a third block, I'd probably place it right here. In fact, the other option is stacking the blocks here on the level surface and placing them on the ground, letting yourself go. Let's try for 5 deep breaths. Closing your eyes, relaxing and bringing breath wherever you might need it. This is your chance. 3 more. Slowly roll all the way up. Stay there longer if you want to. It's really up to you. And this time we're going to slowly bring our knees in. And we're going to gently roll down and lay down into just the side Shavasana for a couple of breaths. If you are in your first and second trimester and you're before 20 weeks, you can do Shavasana on your back. But for everyone else, staying on your left hand side. You can place your block underneath your head. That might feel really nice. You can place your block in between your knees. Finding that peacefulness, that focus, that gentleness you started with. Stay here for as long as you need to. Namaste. Please stay here for about 10 more breaths if you can. I will leave you here. This is where we'll end the class. Namaste and have a beautiful day, evening, morning, wherever you might be. Thank you.